been about half a year since I made that Linux video of like me trying it out with one of my friends, JMO. And I did say in the video that would I try Bazzite again? And I said yes. And I kept to my word. I actually have been using Bazzite quite a bit in my off time, whenever I don't want to deal with Windows. And I must say it's gotten better as time has gone on. I There's definitely a lot more stuff that I've figured out and I've gotten to work. So I guess this is like an update video on my Bazzite situation, on my Linux situation. There's still some things that do keep me from using it full time, but it has definitely gotten up there in terms of usage. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is when it comes to games. Of course, that's the most important thing. The situation's still the same. Well, not really. There's some differences, but I'll talk about that. That is there's reasons for that one. Games, they run really well. They run super well. And I mean, like, I I don't really think I've had problems at all trying to launch a game that works. That works. There are some multiplayer games with anti-cheat that don't work, but I don't really play those games. All my single player games and all my games that are like multiplayer but don't require like an anti-cheat or a kernel level anti-cheat, they've been working really well. They've been working just fine. Now there is a game, of course, like I said, I think I remember saying in my video before, one of the big minuses is that I couldn't play Fortnite. And given the news that has come across for Epic Games now, um, I have found myself not playing Fortnite for about a month or 2 months, 3 months even. I just haven't had like the drive to play it, and I only got like I think the last time I got on was because I was asked to, and then we kind of got off after like 3 games because even if the company was clean, the state of the game is just it's not great. It's not great. So in terms of that kind of was like that was off my list when it came to things I need to switch over to Linux. Fortnite's gone. I don't really care. Um, I can always play a different multiplayer game if I want to. Um, I was gonna say Deadlock, but oh my god, that game is not for the faint of heart and is not for somebody who wants to have a quick fun game. Now, in terms of software, I actually did get some things working, and I did record my experiences with them, so I will show some experiences. Yeah, that's what I said. Okay, so update on the Linux situation. Um, I was able to get Elgato, my Wave 3, to work as soon as I start up the PC. That was the issue that I had in my challenge video where I had to like swap between mono and digital stereo to like for it to start working. There was a config file that somebody had that for their own Wave 3 that fixed it, and I used it, and now it works straight up when I start up Bazzite, and that's so nice. It's so nice. So now I don't have the feel need where it's like, oh, maybe I need to get a new mic. I'm completely fine with the one that I have now. And that issue is gone. For some odd reason, OBS was like being really weird. It kind of got rid of NVENC for some reason, but I fixed it as soon as I reinstalled the Flatpak and all that. And I got the hotkeys working. There's Wayland hotkeys thing, and I also and as like a safeguard, I also took it off Wayland, so now it's on X11. So it's going through like X Wayland, if that's what it's called. Hotkeys work. I can use Alt 0 to press record again and stop record again. So that's really nice. I really do like that. Oh, I got Affinity Photo working, both versions, through Lutris. It took a bit because Bazite's kind of weird. Okay, you're launching on my second screen. I don't know what that's about. Nope, there we go. And it keeps hounding me for new version available. I don't know why it keeps doing it on the like the edge of the screen and not maximize like how I left it. But I can deal with it honestly. I can just maximize it. But it works. It works. And so does oh well, they kinda want you to sign in, but I don't want to sign in. And the sign-in's weird. It was weird on Windows too, so I'm kind of used to it. This weird blackout thing. I don't know what that's about, but that disappears and this is fine. And I can just use Affinity. Very nice. I can just drag that. It works. And then let me just add a few. Let me add a new filter. Let's just blur it a bit. Blur it a little bit. Then I can just add more stuff onto it. Let's say I want to make a dead cam thumbnail, a really weird thumbnail that has to do with space or whatever. And I want to throw in some Lutris. I'm on Lutris. I'm playing I'm playing things on Lutris, and then I'm editing it using Kdenlive, making my script on OnlyOffice. Pointing, yeah, look at that. OnlyOffice, and then I can save that. I can export this. Let's downsize this. Export. I bring it to home. Where's home? Home. Me. Downloads. Save. It's a bit of a work to get to it, but here it is showing up on here. There's my video. There's my edited photo. I feel right at home. I missed Affinity. Photocria was cool. Photocria is cool, but it just literally just can't beat Affinity. It literally can't. Oh, I forgot that was my okay. Oh, recovering unsaved document. That's cool. That's pretty cool. But yeah, no, it can't. It just can't compete. Honestly, what is happening here? Why is it being weird now? Okay, update. It's now 3 p.m. I did go to sleep. Don't worry, I went to sleep. But I figured out how to get hardware acceleration working on it on Affinity Photo. I just went to configure. I left DXVK off, but I put VKD 3D on. And now, if I go to settings and I go to performance, hardware acceleration is indeed available. I got itch.io to work pretty well within Lutris. One thing that I've noticed is that the itch.io launcher on Linux, the Flatpak, it kind of doesn't read wine, and that's probably because of how Bazite works. So it's probably very different on something like Nobara or Ultramarine, but it kind of doesn't work with games with EXE games. So I decided to run it through Lutris. So now I have all my games through here. I can just download them remotely if I have them in my collection, or if I own them, they'll just show up right here, and I just download them all. So yeah, and the weird one of the quirks is I have to go into configure and change the executable because it will always change to Unity Crash Handler 64 for some reason. But other than that, I can just press launch and it'll play the game. So I'm very happy about that one. And it's much easier for me to like record indie games because it's always so weird. It's always like a gamble when it comes to playing it on my version of Windows at this point because it'll be like weirdly stuttery. That was the main problem that I've always had. It was just stuttery. I couldn't really understand what the problem was, but yeah, that's like not a thing on here on Bazite. I have OBS working with Stream Suite, so I can do multi-streaming if I wanted to, and my NVENC works. So it is that one's set up pretty well. NVENC, for some reason, OBS kind of got rid of NVENC on restart one time. So I reinstalled OBS and it started working again. I don't know. That was weird. It was weird, but it works now. Everything else works. Literally the only thing that would make this perfect is if I could get Filmora working. Because I can get it to launch and I can get to a project. Hardware acceleration doesn't work for some reason, even though it works on Affinity. Yeah, see, it's reading 4060, but I can't do hardware acceleration. It's really weird. Once I put a video on in here and I add it, it'll freeze. See? And then it'll crash. So yeah, that's the closest I've ever gotten to getting Filmora to work. I don't know how else to get it to work. Maybe like an update to Elemental Warrior or like its own fork to get Filmora to work. I tried to get CapCut to work, but that one was also weird in the sense that there's like a black screen in the preview that's like always on top that I can't look through, and the video's not being really able to be played in playback. So, I mean, it could read the 4060, and I'm pretty sure it can do the hardware acceleration. There's just that main issue. Another huge thing on why I want to like, stay on Linux is because the driver support is literally so much better than it is with AMD's closed source Windows drivers. It is like night and day. One of my grievances is that there was no like Adrenaline software. There was no Radeon software available on Linux because of the open source drivers and all that, and the way that Linux works kind of wouldn't be a thing. I found myself noticing using this less and less because, first off, I don't know what's going on, but frame generation, that fluid motion frames thing, it's completely broken. I haven't gotten it to work. It hasn't worked in a year. I even rolled back to the drivers that I knew had fluid motion frames working, and it just doesn't work anymore. I think AMD has like completely borked fluid motion frames for my 6800. I just can't get it working no matter what no matter if I reinstall the drivers, if I switch over to certain drivers, it just doesn't work anymore. It really doesn't matter to me anymore, I guess, because I don't really care about frame generation. It's like not a thing. I just want raw performance. And Linux is very smooth when it comes to that. The only reason I've been using frame generation is because I wanted smoother frames. I wanted smoother gameplay. I just wanted it to look, I wanted it to not look choppy. And it did that, and then it broke, so I couldn't do it again. And then when it comes to tuning, I already overclocked my CPU in BIOS, so that's done with. I haven't really found a need for me to overclock my GPU. It just hasn't been really a thing that I care about doing. I know I can do it on Linux with an app, so I don't have to worry about that. I can just get a whole different application for that if I ever choose. Record and stream section, that's like the main thing that I would use for like instant replays and all that. The instant replay feature I can get in GPU screen recorder, so I don't have to worry about that. That's like already completely covered. There's system-wide FSR when it comes to Proton with Proton tricks. So I can do Radeon Super Resolution if I really wanted to, but there's no real reason for me to, since performance is better on there. Anti-lag is already baked in. It's basically always on. Frame rate limiter, that's already a thing within Mango HUD. I can limit the frame rate to like 144 solid and just have it there. So that is a thing that I don't have to worry about. Enhanced sync I don't use because it barely ever works. Frame rate target control, like I already said, we already have a built-in frame rate limiter with Mango HUD and all that. A lot of these things that I talked about were like that I missed or that I wish would be on Linux. I haven't really missed, which is a good thing. That means that the platform's just that good. So when it comes to the driver situation, it's completely fine. When it comes to my GPU and support, I am completely fine with that. Now, another thing that I really do like is the FSR4 situation. It's absolutely wonderful on Linux. It's hell on Windows. It's like super hell on Windows, but it's amazing on Linux. I'm able to use FSR4 on my 6800. That's crazy. And the best part is it looks so much better than FSR3. At this point, it is completely worth the performance penalty between the two. I don't mind it at all. I'm still running at over 100 frames. I'm happy. And I'm playing single player games. It does not affect me that much. It's great. It's amazing. I love it. I know a lot of people say that like Bazite's pretty restricting in terms of what you can do with the system, but honestly, I haven't really found an issue with it. I know there was like the whole affinity thing. It took a little bit of work, but I got it running through Lutris. It feels like I could still do what I want to do with the system. So it being immutable, I mean, it really doesn't really affect me. I don't have anything that I need to do that would make me need to mess with the system files. And there's probably, and of course there are people that do want to deal with system files like that and all that. And of course, if that's your thing, yeah, Bazite's not for you. You know, go to like Nobara or something or CashOS. For someone like me, I mean, it works. I don't really see an issue. I haven't had an issue when it comes to doing what I want to do and configuring things. It just works. All my software is like either an app image or a flat pack. There have been days where I would just straight up boot up Bazite and like not worry about Windows at all. And it was just smooth. I liked it. I liked just having my PC really work. What I'm thinking is that if I can never get Filmora to work, or if somebody somehow does, or if somebody doesn't get Filmora to work, I will move everything on over to Bazite, and I'll have a specific drive that has just Windows and has OBS, Filmora, and CapCut, and that'll just be my video editing drive. I'll just move my video files on over to a SD card or a USB flash drive, and then boot up into Windows, pull that footage out, and then boom, I can video edit it, upload it, and then I'm good to go. And there are video editors on Linux. They aren't Filmora or CapCut. That's the issue. Like I'm just gonna say straight up, they are not Filmora and CapCut. And that's probably a good thing for a lot of people. And that's good for you. That's great for you. I've used Filmora and I've used CapCut for years now. Like a lot of years. And those two editors work the best for me. I know that there is DaVinci Resolve, but DaVinci Resolve is extremely weird on Linux. And I use DaVinci Resolve. I even used DaVinci Resolve for like years when I first started my YouTube channel, and it worked for me. But CapCut and Filmora just made my workflow much easier. Kdenlive is okay, but it does not have, of course, like I said, it does not have the features that I need out of it. Especially when it comes to hardware acceleration. See, the thing is, for CapCut in Filmora 14, it uses my RTX 4060 to its fullest potential because it has like special stuff built for RTX cards. Like it has RTX acceleration and Tensor RT, and it can do things like split encoding when it comes to rendering. There's NVIDIA ultra high quality compression, and that is leagues better than the regular high compression that I do. It's absolutely amazing. And in terms of AV1 encoding, it, like I said, it does that split encoding when it does render a video. So it goes fast. Like it encodes super fast compared to anything else I've done when it comes to like HEVC and H.264. So that is like a very important thing of my workflow. And I know that's not a thing that a lot of people want to hear. And I know a lot of people will be like, "Oh, just come on, you just gotta take your time and learn Kdenlive." I probably will, but Filmora and CapCut are just the things that I work with the best. You know, some people stay on like Premiere Pro for like the rest of their lives because it works for them. Some people stay on DaVinci Resolve because it works for them. Some people still stay on Vegas because it works for them. So, I mean, it's just the same situation. Filmora and CapCut just work for me. Well, yeah, that's like that's my update on the Linux thing. It's been a very fun ride. I haven't had too many problems updating. Bazite has been fine. It hasn't broken anything. KDE is still weird, but I kind of ignore the notification problem now. I don't really deal with that anymore. It's not like a thing that I need. I don't even read the notifications on Windows, so I don't know what I was bugging for on that one. That was just really nitpicky. I don't even use notifications. Heroic's gotten a little weird though. There are some games that just won't really work with my controller. Like I'll launch the game, it'll recognize it, and it'll let me like use it on some of the menus. And then when I get into the actual game, I just can't use it. It's really weird. And I kind of noticed this when it came to Cyberpunk. There was a lot of delay when it came to using my controller. And I did not like that. I didn't like that at all. At first I thought it was frame generation, then I turned it off and it was not frame generation at all. It was something else. It probably has to do with heroic. I don't understand, but it's only a heroic games launcher problem. I hope down the road that fixes, but I have most of my games on Steam, so it'll be fine, I guess. It's certain games, like Orcs Must Die 3 and State of Decay 2 just don't like my controller for whatever reason. Even though I like start up heroic games with my controller already on and I launch the game, it just doesn't work. It's weird. I don't understand. I was thinking about trying out Nobara because I kept hearing like, oh, if you really want real freedom over your PC and non have non-immutable stuff, try Nobara. But I mean, I've gotten everything that I wanted to work on Bazite, so I mean, I don't really see a reason to switch out over. I'm kind of a creature of habit. I don't like switching stuff when I'm comfortable. So it might happen. It might happen. I mean, if anybody wants to throw a new throw a spare 1 TB SSD my way, and I could install it because I don't want to mess up my Bazite drive as it is now. But if somebody wants to drop one my way, I mean, hey, I'd be down and I'd be very appreciative, and it'd be a very nice thing to experiment with. I like Bazite. I look at my Windows drive and I sigh. I very much loathe the idea of booting up Windows. It's gotten to that point. It has gotten to that point because I've had so many problems. You know what? Actually, I had one on recording when I started up Windows. I'll show you. I'll show you. So I literally just turned on my PC and look at that. I can't even. The whole desktop is frozen. My Discord is it's messed up. I can't I can't interact with the desktop at all. I just started. I just turned it on this PC, by the way. Just turned it on. And then, of course, when I have a restart, I gotta hope and pray to the gods above that I do not get a blue screen because it'll have a page fault and non-paged area issue every single time that I restart Windows. It's gotten bad. No matter what I do, and no matter how many times I use SFC scan now, and no matter how many times I reinstall my drivers because that's saying that's the issue, it just doesn't work. I'll keep getting that BSOD every once in a while. And it sucks. It really sucks. It's annoying. It's infuriating because I just want my PC to work. I just want it to work with me. And at first I thought it was the RAM, so I did the memory training and there was no problem with that. So I was like, okay, so what's wrong? So it has to be something. It has to be. There is a theory. One of my friends said there was a theory that it's probably the drive itself because nobody else is having these issues. It's just me. So it might be my drive. It is a pretty old drive. It's from like 2019. But I checked for corruptions and it said there wasn't any, but that it might be some hidden stuff wrong with it. So, you know, and I don't have the budget to go get a new one. I guess I have to deal with it until I find a way to clone it. But yeah, um, with that's not a problem with Bazite though. Like I open it and it works. Once I boot it up, I can restart it and it'll be fine. It shuts down really fast too, like really fast. But yeah, anyways, that's all I got. I just wanted to update everybody on the Linux situation, and I'm still doing it. I still very much enjoy it, and I kind of do want to make more videos like talking about Linux, like I already said before with the OGC video. But that's all I have for now. At least it's on my mind. And I will see you guys in the next one. If you liked this video and you want to see more Linux videos from me, let me know. Give me a like, subscribe, do a little comment. Be nice in the comments. Be nice. And I will do more. I very much like making videos. geeking out, so I don't mind. I don't mind at all. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.